Welcome to the program, welcome to the show. I am your host, Mark Goldberg from Mark Vlogs Watches. Quick homage to my dearly departed friend, Andy Hunter. Look, guys, we got a lot to talk about today. Oops, I don't want to... You saw it, didn't you? I know you saw it. Oh, heck, let's jump right into the meat and potatoes of this right now then. Quick fist watch check. Guys, I'm a dog trainer. Please support me and this channel by buying a copy of my latest book, The Art of Training Your Dog. Hardcover or electronic, you can get it globally. If you're not a dog lover, buy it for someone who is, and subscribe to this channel so we can do this again soon. Throw a like on this video. Now let's get along with the fist watch check. That is right. Today I am wearing, I don't know, should I call it the Tiffany dial and get a lot of nasty comments? I'll call it the turquoise dial. I might have accidentally started a fuss on this turquoise OP41 with a video that I put up in November. I will throw a link to that one in the description of this video. Now, why should we have a quick word about the turquoise OP41 before we jump into the meat and potatoes of this video, which is the humble Rolex Submariner date? Well, that would be because back in November, I told you that if you had any designs on buying one of these, you should have bought it right then and there for in the $17,000, $18,000 price range, which is what I did. And I told you to do that before it skyrocketed up due to its imminent discontinuation, which I think will happen in the first quarter of 2022. Little did I know that Patek would help me out with that Tiffany dial Nautilus and just skyrocket things even before my prediction came true. But today I want to talk about the humble Submariner and what's going to happen to that watch this year, 2022. Well, the first thing we have to talk about is the current price. It's over $14,000, and that happened just a few weeks ago. It was priced in the low 13s and now it's in the mid 14s. Rolex hit that watch with a 10-point-something% price increase. Interestingly, if you were to average out what Rolex did with their price increase, they hit some with more and some with lower price increases. And if you average them out, it was only about a 5% price increase across the board. But the thing is, it's not an average price increase at all. Some models were hit with just a couple pennies of an increase, and other models were hit with a big one. So the popular stuff, the steel sports, got hit with about 10%. So that would include the Rolex Submariner and the Daytona line in steel. So we're currently looking at an MSRP of 14 and change. So what we really need to talk about is what's going to happen on the secondary market. Well, we know, of course, what's happening at the authorized dealer, at the AD. And what's happening at the AD is you almost can't get one. Now, I've spent a lot of time, and will continue to do so, explaining to you good people how you can work a relationship with an authorized dealer if you are a first-time Rolex buyer, how you can get one at MSRP. And I am not advising you right now to jump into the secondary market. I'm just saying, if you're gonna jump into the secondary market, let's talk about how to time the buy. If you wanna know what I think you really should do, it would be to slow down and take the time to build the authorized dealer relationship, okay? But I know that there are a lot of people that are in much too much of a hurry to do that, will not kiss butt. I'm gonna get a whole lot of nasty comments in this video about how you shouldn't have to suck up to an AD in order to buy a watch. And guys, I'm on your side with this. I'm just the messenger. I didn't invent the game. I'm just playing by the rules that were presented to me by the market, okay? So I'm on your team. Anyway, here's the deal. What's happening right now? Guys, I have been imploring you good people to purchase the 40mm version of the Rolex Submariner date for the last several months because I think it's the sweet spot if you want to get into a sub, which is arguably Rolex's most iconic watch of all. Now, that 40mm Submariner date was manufactured, I am certain, in the millions because it was around for like a solid 10, 12, 13 years in that iteration with the super case, the maxi dial, the larger hands, and the 40mm edition with glide lock clasp. It was only in the latter years of its existence that Rolex began to clamp down on supply. But for most of its time in the Rolex catalog, it was fairly plentiful, and gosh, I don't know if you people are old enough, but I remember a time when they were laid out in the Rolex cases and you could just go, I'll have that one, or that one, or that one. My, how times change. But at any rate, that watch is extremely plentiful. So But guys, it's creeping up. So first, if you want a Rolex Submariner, I think what you should be looking at is the 40mm version on the secondary market, if that's where you want to buy, because it's a relative bargain, comparatively speaking. To the eye, it will be nearly indistinguishable from the current production 41mm version. I mean, the bracelet is mildly wider, the clasp is slightly chunkier, but like everything else is almost identical. Okay, I know they slimmed the lugs down, but I'm telling you fellas, you would have to hold those two watches side by side to even, really distinguish a difference. The chromalite, it never ages, so your lume is going to be brilliant, the dials no longer age, the ceramic bezel inserts, they don't scratch. So I'm just telling you, if you get a 40mm Submariner date in good condition, it's going to be perfect. It'll be indistinguishable from new production stuff, even if it's 10, 12, 13 years old. I have one that was manufactured in 2012. I'll drop a photo of it in here, but let me tell you something, guys. You couldn't tell it from new production stuff. Longtime subscribers will remember Jupiter, and here is that 40mm Submariner that looks like current production stuff. Okay, I bought that watch 2 years ago for $8,500. That was quite a deal at the time, but like, look, fellas, I think that's the blush is off the rose. You're not gonna find an $8,000 sub anymore, or a 9, or a 10, or an 11. But if you try hard, if you stalk eBay and people dumping out of those, in order to buy something new because they got bored, collectors particularly. Find somebody with the buy it now button, but what you're really looking for is make an offer button, or keep an eye on Chrono, because what you're looking to buy that watch for is right around $12,000. I've been telling you to buy that watch now for probably 6 months at 12, but let me tell you what, it's crept up into the 13s. What's gonna happen to that one this year? Mark my words, that watch is going to $18,000. It's going to take most of the year to do it, but by this year, Christmas, I think that 40mm sub is going to be up to $18,000, and that's because supply of everything else is going to be impossible. So I think sellers are just going to start jacking them up, dealers are going to start hoarding them, and they're going to work that price up. So I think you're at a good time right now if you buy in the 12, even the 13 range. Guys, at about 11 months or 12 months from now, I think that watch, as plentiful as it is, and this is nuts that it's going to happen, but I think it's going to jump up by about another $5,000 or $6,000. But the 41, that's what we should really spend a quick moment talking about. That one right now, you can get it for $16,000, $17,000 on Chrono. So the premium on it is a little bit big. In fact, it's probably maybe even more common to find $17,000. So, there's like a $3,000 premium on that watch right now. Fellas, that premium is going to go nowhere but up. That watch is going to go to $24,000 this year. Guys, I'm a little worried that you're going to be mad at me for these predictions that I'm making. And once again, I want to repeat, I don't make the prices. I don't sell the watches. I'm just telling you what I think is going to happen. So, to recap before we just bail out of this topic and invite you to discuss the whole topic with me in the comments, the 40mm version of the Rolex Submariner, that's the one that I think you should get. Is it a bargain? Right now, no, it's not a bargain. But I think in another year, today's prices are going to look like bargain prices. So I think the time is right to get that watch. Just remember, Rolex isn't making any more of them. So over time, they will get rarer. Are they vintage? No, they're not even pre-vintage, but they're, and actually, that's the nicest thing about that watch, okay? It's got the modern clasp. It's a great watch, that one. It has solid center links, the milled out clasp. I mean, the Cerachrome bezel, the good lume that isn't gonna die. I mean, I really think that one's the sweet spot. But it's going to go up, and so is the newest version. Why? Because everybody always wants the newest stuff, and the premium on that is going to get crazy. That's because the shortage is going to continue. We are looking at another year of drought, fellas, for these watches. So where are you? If you want a sub, I think sooner is better than later. And what I would be looking at would be the 40mm. Did I make that clear enough? Because that 41 is going to $25,000. And I even think that 40 is going up to 18. If you own one of those watches right now and you're just bored with it, don't sell it. Don't be bored with the most iconic, the most classic watch maybe ever manufactured in modern history since 1952. Don't sell it. As Blue Shirt Buddha once said, never sell Rolex, especially steel sports. Because if you sell it now, and then in a year or two you get bored and you think you'll just do an easy rebuy, you're going to be shocked at how much more you're going to have to pay to just buy back your own watch. It's nuts, guys, but hey, that's what I think is going to happen. Thank you for spending all this time with me. This is Goldberg. Let's talk about it in the comments. Peace out.
Paint the sky.